basics and, oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know what that was. But
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah, so we'll basically go over the foundation of marketing your brand. Okay, so first, a little bit about myself. My name is Stefania Skiru. I am the CEO of Dynamically Branded. I'm an entrepreneur, marketing and public relations expert. I'm also a blogger. And I have a pretty international background. So I was born in Central Africa, in Gabon, Libreville, raised in Germany, and I'm Italian. So I speak 4 languages, which is very interesting. You know, when I talk to my family, you know, we mix everything is very funny. So I have a bachelor's in business administration and a master's in marketing. And I had my professional start in marketing with Coca-Cola, and I was part of their product innovations team. And what people don't know, in Europe, Coca-Cola actually has a coffee brand, and I was part of the team that launched it and created a coffee concept around it. I had my start in fashion with an online shoe retailer as their event coordinator, and it was my job to basically expand and brand a very extravagant shoe fashion show. And it just grew from 100 attendees to a 3-day retreat with over 500 people. And I was in charge of everything, booking the venue, getting the talent, the sponsors, you know, the celebrities, conducting casting calls, et cetera, et cetera. And then I was promoted to marketing manager. I have over 14 years of marketing and PR experience, and I wanted more. So I started with a blog where I could just like get everything out, you know, share knowledge. And I received more and more requests when I started, and then I started freelancing. I built really great relationships with different brands. And that all helped me with my company because, you know, if you throw events, you always need brand partnerships, sponsorships. And I worked with, you know, New York Fashion Week, BET, Fashion Group International, Uber, the Dallas Cowboys, so a really wide variety of brands. Then I wanted to share a little bit about the work we do at Dynamically Branded. So we work with clients very closely in pitching stories to the media. Media placements can help you, you know, build your credibility, trust, enhance your image, and of course, you know, put you in front of thousands or even millions of new potential clients. That Harper's Bazaar feature in the top left-hand corner, for example, made my client's website crash, and she sold out in like 3 hours. So it's very effective in, you know, creating more brand awareness and also generating sales. And we work with all the major fashion magazines and also mainstream media. Our clients have been seen in all the major fashion magazines, you know, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, InStyle, all the way to mainstream media as well. Celebrity placements is another way where you can really boost your brand awareness and, you know, let people know about your brand. It helps also with credibility and trustworthiness. We work very closely with celebrity stylists, and then, you know, we give them the clothes and then they put it on their celebrities, and they then wear it at different events or for photo shoots, and, you know, we get great press and visibility through that. And we've worked with, you know, anyone from global superstars to supermodels, reality TV star, actresses, and influencers. Okay, now let's dive into today's course and go over the agenda. So we will talk about, you know, collective market feedback, really just one slide about target market. I know your professors have probably drilled that into you. Then we talk about positioning, analyzing the 4 Ps, social media, super important. We'll also talk about celebrity styling, fashion shows, and you know, how to launch your marketing campaign from start to finish. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm ready. Okay, so before even starting to before even starting to map out a marketing campaign or sending your collection into production, you have to test the market fit. I've seen so many designers, produce like their full collection, full size runs, and then at the end, it's only like 2 or 3 pieces that are being sold. And just from experience, when we do like a show and it's like 40 pieces, maybe like 10 to 15 actually go into production. So how can you test the market fit? You can let a target customer test the wear your pieces, make sure it fits right. It's the right fabric, it's not a fabric that like suffocates them or, makes them sweat. Be informed on customer trends and shopping habits. So sustainability getting more and more important. People care about quiet luxury. People shop on social media. Also ask fashion professionals, other designers, editors, influencers, your professors, your peers. And also take advantage of your own social media. If you already have an audience, ask for feedback. How would they like this in green or long, short, with or without sleeves? And Kim Kardashian does a phenomenal job of including her following into the creation process. And then when she launches, it's a product that people really want because they told her that they wanted that. You can also host a small preview of your collection, participate in trade shows. You'll get direct feedback from buyers. Buyers are very honest. And also if they don't come to your booth, you might have to work on a few things. But it's great customer feedback to get customer feedback from buyers during trade shows. All right, then, just one slide about target market. I know you're very aware of that, but make sure that you create a customer profile. You want to have the demographics, their behaviors, their pain points, their motivation. Also, how do they shop? Do they go to the store? Do they shop online? And based on these different factors, you can create your key strategies. All right, today's marketplace is super cluttered. There's so many brands, so many messages. And in order for you to break through, you have to start getting creative. Also think about what sets you apart from your competition. How are you different from your competition? How can you perfect or build out your competitive advantage? Competitive advantage, I like to call your special sauce. And it's a superiority gained by an organization when it can provide the same value as its competitors, but at a lower price, or can charge higher prices by providing greater value through differentiation. So when you think about, Christian Louboutin, the red bottoms, the high craftsmanship, made in Paris, that is their competitive advantage. On the other side, you have Fashion Nova. What do? They offer, ever-changing, trendy pieces at a very low price. So you have to think, okay, what am I really good at? Am I really good at jackets or pants? Or is my draping technique just out of the world? So really focus on what makes you unique, because that is what's going to help you not only break through, but also stay in business in fashion, which is very competitive. All right, so market positioning. Market positioning refers to the consumer's perception of a brand or product in relation to competing brands or products. So market position refers to the process of establishing the image or identity of a brand or product so that consumers perceive it in a certain way. You have to know your positioning in the market to develop target messages to influence buyer behavior. There are usually 2 main positioning strategies. So you have cost leadership. That's where, consumers expect the company to offer products at lower prices than competition, and only the basic needs are met. And then you have differentiation. It aims to position itself in the minds of the consumers as a company that provides unique products that consumers will pay more for because they cannot find a comparable product or product features anywhere else. essentially it's what the consumers think of you. What do they really think, not what you hope that they think. And in the best case scenario, what they think and what you hope to think coincides. And if it's not where you want it to be, let's say you think you are more like affordable luxury, like a Rebecca Minkoff, but your consumers perceive you more on like the target level, then you have to readjust your messaging, maybe show why you are more higher end. What is the craftsmanship? What kind of materials are you using to kind of like change and alter their perception of your brand? And here is an example of a perceptual map. So we have on one axis, we have basse couture, haute couture, like the degree of differentiation. And then on the other axis, we have the pricing. So you'll see on basse couture in low price companies like Forever 21. And then when you go up in pricing in couture, we have H&M, Mango, Zara, and all the way to, like a high-end premium brand like Marc Jacobs. And you could position a brand like Yeezy in the basse couture high price, because Yeezy's clothing is very simple, but because of the branding, the marketing, and the name, it's higher priced. Okay, and I also wanted to say, if you guys have any questions, please write them down and hold them till the end, and then we can go through everything, okay? All right. Excuse me. So analyzing the 4Ps. So one of the most important concepts in marketing is the 4Ps. So the 4Ps of marketing is a model for enhancing the components of your marketing mix, the way in which you take a new product or service to market. It helps you to define your marketing options when it comes to price, product, promotion, and place, so that your offering meets a specific customer need or demand. Now I want to break it down a little bit further, because you will have to, really define it. And I recommend, writing down your 4Ps. So your product is obviously, what are you offering? Is it like ready to wear? Is it haute couture? Is it swimwear? Are you only offering pants or only jackets? So the more specific you can be, the better. Also, what features does it have? What sizes, colors, all that will be included in your product. Then the price, what value of the product or service is the consumer willing to pay? Are there established price points for products in your area, of product? Check out the competition. What are they charging? Are there specific industry standards? Also, is your consumer or customer price sensitive? Will a small decrease in price make you gain you extra market share, or will a small increase not even be noticeable for your target market, but increase your profit margin? I had a client excuse me, sorry. I had a client that started in with custom orders. They were at $2,500 per custom order, and she had a good business going on, but there were a lot of people not very serious or changed their mind. And then she actually doubled the price. And the result was she quadrupled her revenue, because not only was the price higher, but more people were very serious about, becoming a customer. When you pay $5,000, like, you have it, So, she increased her business. For some reason, people associate price with value, and it just, helped really boost her business. Then also, how will your price compare with your customers, with your competitors? Then place means like, where is your product going to be available? How can your consumer get it? Do they look in a store? What kind of store? Are they more looking for like luxury boutique? Are they online shoppers? Do they shop through like a third party, like a department store? Does your customer shop on Amazon or eBay, off social media? Do you have to attend trade shows? Do you have to send, any kind of samples or lookbooks? Do you have to host events in order to sell? So be very specific how you want to basically sell your product. Then promotion. Promotion basically means how you get your marketing messages across. Are you going to reach your audience by advertising online, in the press, on TV, radio, on billboards, through influencer marketing, social media? Are you going to use public relations? Also, when is the best time to promote? Is your business more seasonal? So be very specific and write all of these things down. Yeah. Okay, so before you engage in any kind of full-blown marketing campaign or initiative, you have to have your ducks in a row and have your marketing assets in place. You don't want to start reaching out to a buyer or a media outlet and not have, for example, your lookbook, your line sheets ready, or your website. A marketing asset is anything that helps you communicate your brand message to your target audience. This can include physical assets, like print collaterals, packaging, for example, as well as digital assets like your website, your social media, emails. And your marketing assets should be designed to reflect your brand identity and appeal to your target customer. You really only get to make one good first impression, and you want it to be professional. So the most common marketing assets in fashion are your logo, high resolution images, your headshot, your brand kit, lookbooks and line sheets, your website, your social media, packaging, labels, and your portfolio and sketches. And you want your marketing assets to be very cohesive. They have to, flow. They have to look the same. Somebody, when they look at your website and compare it with your social media, it just like is on one accord, when it comes to like the colors, the messaging, the photos. You want it to make to be as cohesive as possible. And you will also need these assets not only when communicating with buyers or the press. You will also need it if you are competing in any kind of competitions, if you need funding, or if you want to submit for, let's say, New York Fashion Week. They want all these things. And I wanted to show you guys an example of a brand kit. I'm not sure if you guys have already seen one, but I just wanted to share it with you so you guys understand it better. So this is a brand kit of a client of mine. And, of course, you start with a title page, and then you talk a little bit about the brand. Then, of course, you always want to include the designer, what makes them special, key messaging, then your previous collections, then any kind of VIP polls, if you work with any kind of celebrities or influencers. Then you will also talk a little bit about your audience, like your reach. You can get these analytics from your website or your social media, any kind of philanthropy or collaborations. And then, of course, you want to have your press mentions, where you've all been mentioned. This also helps, with credibility. And then at the very end, of course, your contact info. So that's just an example of a brand kit. If you guys want access to it, just let me know, and I can share with your professor. All right, let's go back here. Okay, social media. Super important for fashion brands. I call social media the search engine for fashion. It's like the entry point of how most consumers now learn about a brand or engage with the brand. People go to your social media before they even go to your website nowadays. So you want to make a good first impression. You want to be professional. You want to be consistent in quality and what you put out there. You want to have good pictures. You want to have, your website links. And, if it doesn't look professional, people just won't take you seriously. So make sure, that your appearance on social media is professional. Just like with anything else, you have to have a strategy. Same with social media. So, step one, set your social media goals that align with your business objectives. Make sure your goals are realistic. Also track them, track meaningful metrics. So what's your goal? Do you want to increase your followers? Do you want to have more clicks to your website? Do you want people to reshare? Do you want more impressions? Etc. So really write down what you want to happen. Then learn everything you can about your audience, create audience personas, gather real world data. That's when we talk about the target market again, which is super important. If you don't know who you're selling to, it's really hard to devise any kind of strategies. You can get data, through primary research. You can send out surveys, or you can gain access to research that's already out there. Nielsen has great data, Business of Fashion, Fashion Group International. There's many organizations that provide great reporting on fashion and consumers. Then research the competition, conduct a competitive analysis. What is your competition doing really great? Do they have really great engagement or just really great content? Are there any holes in their social media strategy where you can come in and kind of like steal market share? Also conduct a social media audit, evaluate your current efforts. What are you doing great? Which posts are doing really well? Which ones are not doing well? Which customers or followers are the most engaged? Maybe you make them VIP customers, for example. And one thing I want to say is don't you ever buy followers, okay? It's not worth it, and it just messes up a lot. So it messes up your real analytics. If you have a bunch of fake followers, you don't know which ones are your real customers and which ones are just there. It also messes up your analytics. And these fake accounts usually do not buy. So you have a bunch of followers that are not engaged. So I highly advise not doing that. Also set up your social media accounts if you don't have them already, and improve existing profiles. Make sure that, you have a bio, you have your website link. You can also link your actual store to social media nowadays. Determine which networks to use. You don't have to be on all the platforms. In the beginning, it's like a one woman, one man show, or two to three. So your time is very limited, so focus on the platforms that you really enjoy and that are really popular for fashion. And I wanted to show you guys another tool you can use when it comes to your social media analysis and competitive analysis. So there is this plugin. It's called Upfluence. And I'm a big fan of Telfar. So when you click this icon, it spits out the analytics of any social media account. So here at Telfar, you see that 87% of the followers are real, 79% are female, 21% are male. I don't know if you guys knew that they even have male customers. It looks very woman oriented, but they also have male customers. They have pretty good engagement. Anything between 1% and 5% is really great engagement. Then here you see when they had a really huge boom. This was in July. That's probably when around the Renaissance tour, when they dropped the jelly telfies. And here you see their different engagements, what the times they are very active. And you can do this for yourself as well. And it just gives you a good reference with, how you're doing compared to your competitors. All right. Let's get back to the presentation. So next we have content creation. Super important, what you put out there in the world. I'm sure you've heard the phrase content is king. Also, it's not about how many times you post, but about the value of the content. Many social media platforms do reward you if you're being consistent, but I rather have you post 2 or 3 times a week and is like really quality post, then, post every day and it's just like nothing of value. So customers do not like being sold to. You have to provide them with value they can't get anywhere else. Also think about like the content creation and social media as, creating a tribe of people that are really obsessed with your brand, your product, and you want to connect with them. I do understand that as a new brand or a new fashion line, you don't have like 1,000 pieces you can post it every day, but you can get very creative in keeping your content coming. You can share fashion news, you can use different models, you can use, take advantage of AI. You can create unique look. I have like a friend that is launching jackets, and he's creating them through AI first to collect feedback. And then, if it's like a jacket that had really great feedback, he actually puts them into production. So, you can create virtual samples, show the process from sketch to completed garment. People love being part of the process and seeing the process, especially if you're planning on having a more higher end collection that just, is pricier. Showing the people why it's pricier, the craftsmanship, the materials. Maybe you're really big on sustainability and produce everything in-house. All of this has to be showcased in order to justify the pricing, especially if you're a new brand. Offer styling advice, style your pieces with like other accessories or brands. That's also a great opportunity to collaborate with other brands. Encourage customers to tag you on social media. Utilize influencers, collab with photographers. Photographers always need content. They always need clothes. So, build relationships with them. And, in return, they'll give you like the images. Use unique and relevant hashtags. Please make sure you research the hashtags, make sure it's associated with the things you want it to be associated with. I had a European client, funny story, that created a beautiful dress in this really deep purple. And it was like an eggplant purple. And she used the eggplant hashtag, and it was not what she, assumed it would be. So, we took it off. Like I saw it like an hour later. So, that was damage control, but make sure that you research the hashtags that you use for sure. Then, keep your audience engaged, respond in a timely manner. Nowadays you can have automatic responses on your social media. Some companies, use social media as customer service, or at least like an entry point, follow them back, like their pictures, encourage them to tag you when wearing your product. You can also have sweepstakes, challenges. So many brands do like, black dress challenge, or, have a fundraiser where they're trying to raise money for like a special cause. Also ask their opinions. Customers, like I said, love being part of the creation. Kim Kardashian is like a master at that. So with Skims, when it came out, she would like always ask them, hey, should I have it in this color or cut the back lower? And then when it comes out, it's a product that people really want. Of course, as a designer, your main focus should be designing. Okay, so there's different ways how you can save time with your social media. So one of the things that I like to do, and I kind of like coach my clients to when we're not in charge of their social media, is to use scheduling software. There is Hootsuite, Lumi, or Meta Business Suite. We personally prefer Meta Business Suite because it is from Meta. So that, of course, they're going to push their tools more than third-party tools. It's also free and it's super user-friendly. Select 1 or 2 times throughout the day to interact and respond on social media. Don't waste time, checking every like and responding to every comment individually. Just pick a time, and that's when you get to everything. And because I'm such a fan of Meta Business Suite, I wanted to show it to you guys as well. Hello. So here you see the Meta Business Suite, and it's super easy. You select which platforms you want here. This is my Facebook. This is our business Instagram. Then you select the image. Here you can select a photo. Let me use a photo real quick, just as an example. Okay, let me use this. Then, you can have any kind of caption. Let's say working with celebrities. Then you use your hashtag. I have my hashtags and like a shortcut, it just pops up. And then you set the time. Here is when you can schedule it, what time you want, what date and time you want it to be on Facebook. Let's say something like next Monday, 5 p.m. Here again, next Monday, 5 p.m. And then you schedule it right here. And then it's scheduled. And then you can also see your calendar here. Let's say, let me show you for this week. You'll see like all the posts, and you can also schedule stories, reels. It will save you so much time. So we usually post like a week or two in advance, and we've done it so often that it only takes me like an hour for like 2 weeks content. And it's super easy, super user-friendly. So take advantage of it. It's free. All right, let's get back to the presentation. That was content creation. So next, I wanted to talk a little bit about press features. So part of your promotional P can be to work with magazines. These will not only help you place you in front of thousands or even millions of potential new customers, it also helps with your credibility, trustworthiness, and it just gives you like that extra proof, a stamp of approval. There's different ways how you can get featured. So the first one is media pitching. That means you research an editor of a magazine, and then you pitch a story, why they should feature you. Maybe, you're aligned with a current trend, or you have really cool technique, or maybe you're working on a very unique collaboration. Another way is through celebrity polls. That means you let different celebrity stylists borrow your clothes, and then their clients are being photographed in it. You can provide garments for magazine shoots. Every main media outlet, especially fashion outlet, they have a fashion closet that they pull from. So if you can be included in that fashion closet, really cool press. You can gather really amazing press. Then you can participate in fashion events that attract the media, like New York Fashion Week, any kind of like charity events, red carpets. There's always press there. And, if the client is being photographed in your dress, you're in the media. Showrooms, there are many multi-designer showrooms in all the major cities, and they always have, private viewings with editors and buyers. They have influencer events. Or you can hire a public relations firm like ourselves that will do, the work for you. Fashion shows, okay? So fashion shows are monumental for designers. I totally understand that. But you have to be very strategic and intentional, because they can be very expensive. So before you start any kind of planning, you want to determine, why do you want to have a fashion show? Do you want to debut a new collection, attract new customers? Do you want to celebrate a collaboration? And also, how are you going to measure your success? Is it going to be like ticket sales, attendance, commitment of sponsors, invitation to showcase at other shows? Did you gather like amazing press features? Make sure you know why you want to have a show. And then once you figure that out, it's time to like plan. You have to give yourself at least 6 months to plan a really good fashion show. And to make the planning and execution easier, we created a fashion show checklist for designers and their teams. And I shared that with your professor. I don't know if she shared it with you guys already, but if not, she will send it after this class. And it really breaks it down, like starting 8 to 12 months before the event. And it just breaks it down all the way so you guys don't forget anything. We also have to talk about the cost. So I understand that New York Fashion Week looks super glamorous, or Paris Fashion Week, but it is a lot of work and it is expensive. So we've broken down the cost a little bit so you can get an idea of how much a standalone New York Fashion Week production costs to be, I'm talking about the official shows, with IMG and being listed on the CFDA calendar. So, set design, 20 to 100,000, models for 40,000. Our model budget last show I did was 45,000. So we had 40 looks, 36 models, and our budget was 45,000. And of course, sound, lighting. If you have celebrities come, you have to provide car service, styling them, the production company, sound, cast and director, the venue. And that doesn't even include the production of your collection, the glam squad, and the PR company that's going to handle, front of house and back of house. So on the lower end, a New York Fashion Week production is around $100,000. That's on the lower end. So, some designers spent 500,000 to 2 million on their shows. Alexander McQueen, if you guys have taken a look at his previous shows, yes, they're very extravagant. They're like 2 million and up. So I do not recommend doing a standalone big show without an investor or without being invited by one of the official sponsors. This season, they had a special collaboration with HBCU alumni where they helped cover $50,000 of the cost. So that was like a big help for these designers. Otherwise, they would not have been able to showcase. So keep that in mind. These are the best fashion shows to participate in. So that we've made experience with, in Texas, all the Fashion Buy events, Dallas Fashion Week, Austin Fashion Week. Of course, in LA, you have LA Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Week. In New York City, you have New York Fashion Week, the shows, with IMG. That's where you'll be on the official CFDA calendar, great press, great brand awareness. You have Essence Fashion House, Runway 7, and Flying Solo. Those are like smaller productions, group productions, where still gives you good visibility, but you don't get the buzz of the official New York Fashion Week. Then I've talked a little bit already about working with celebrity stylists, but working with a celebrity stylist can really boost your brand from one day to another if it's like with the right stylist. Think about Beyonce when she wore Telfar for the first time in public and was photographed. Telfar just exploded since, and it's always sold out within minutes whenever they have new drops. So that can be a very cost-effective way of, getting the word out about your brand. And it also helps with your credibility, trustworthiness. If a celebrity is wearing it, it must be something great. So how do you get in touch with them? There's different ways. Of course, social media. Many stylists actually become aware of new brands through social media. Don't be shy to drop into their DMs. Of course, always be professional, keep it brief. And then I always like, to send them like 2 looks, a little bit about the brand. And then I ask them, hey, can I send you the lookbook via email? What's the best email? And, websites has often contact info. Sometimes they're represented by agencies like the Wall Group or the Only Agency. The PR, if you work with a PR agency, we have really great contacts. You can network and connect with them during fashion events. Most of them are at New York Fashion Week and like the CFDA Fashion Group international events. If they're really like popular stylists, I would go through their assistant. Or you can also gain access to our celebrity stylist lists. We created, so we've been working with celebrity stylists for like 7 years, and we've established a really nice curated list of contact lists. It shows you who they work with and how to best get in touch with them. Excuse me. I also would like to lay out some ground rules when it comes to working with celebrity stylists. Please make sure that you research the celebrity stylist, make sure he's really representing who he says he's representing, and then always have a stylist pull request form, okay, that defines which pieces are being pulled, who the pieces are being pulled for, when the pieces are being pulled and returned. Take a copy of the driver's license and address, have a credit card on file in case, garments are lost or damaged. Things always happen, so you want to have a backup. Me personally, if I haven't worked with a stylist before, I ask for a deposit. That puts a little bit more pressure in operating in a professional manner because they want their deposit back. Then shipping account number if items need to be shipped. Most stylists, have a budget from the client for that. So they will either, send you a shipping account number. If they don't have a shipping account number, they usually reimburse us for that. Or, you can have a deal with them where you pay one way, they pay the other way. And once you start building the relationship with stylists, they will reach out to you and you can keep them posted on like new pieces, new collection. We work with stylists where we know what their clients want. Like, for example, Kim Kardashian, I'm not going to send her a baggy look. Okay. She's very fitted. She likes everything to show. She likes to show her curves. So, once you kind of like study their clientele, you can be very proactive in working with them. Okay, next, we're going to talk about launching a marketing campaign from start to finish. So a marketing campaign is an initiative that exists outside of your ongoing marketing tasks. It has a budget, even if it's zero, has a specific desired outcome, starts and ends on a specific date. You can have a marketing campaign even if your product is not available yet. So I love pre-orders. You can start teasing your campaign or even like selling it before, your product is produced. I like it because, you basically have product that's already paid for and it limits your inventory cost later on. So, don't count yourself out because your product is not in production yet or is in production but hasn't arrived yet. But always, tell your customers how long it will take for them to get. So they're not waiting forever. But step one, choose your end goal, set your campaign budget, identify your target market. I can't emphasize it enough how important your target market is. Design your content, choose your channel, launch and monitor, and then at the end you analyze the results. Then I want to break it down just a little bit further. So step one, choose your end goal. There are 7, the most common high-level marketing goals, and you pick one and then make it as specific as possible. So what do you want to do with this campaign? Do you want to promote a new product, a new collection? Do you want to increase customers? Do you want to improve your retention rate? Do you want to gain publicity? That could be like a PR campaign, if you really want to focus on press. Or do you just want to raise brand awareness? Then 2, set your campaign budget. You don't want to work on a really amazing campaign and then halfway you realize, oh, I don't have enough money to follow through. So in order to avoid that mistake, set a budget from the very beginning, know exactly what you can afford, and then go from there. 3, identify your target audience. We already talked about target market, and then design your content. The content of your marketing campaign should convey a very specific message And don't forget your call to action. I see so many campaigns where, okay, I look at it, I look at the ad, and then I don't know what they want me to do. Okay, like it doesn't tell me, do I need to go on the website? Do I need to click here? Do they want me to share this? Do I have to go anywhere? So make sure that you don't waste money and efforts by not having a call to action. Then step 5, choose your channels. So marketing campaigns are like smoothies, and a simple one has maybe 2 ingredients, while a complex one can have 15. Excuse me. The typical channels are email, direct mail, radio, TV, public relation, digital media, online advertising. So you pick, how you want to communicate your message. And then 6 is launch and monitor, like launch your campaign, make it live, and track it. Also, don't be scared to make adjustments. If, for example, one of your goals is to increase website traffic and you've had this campaign going for like a week, but you have not really seen any traffic, maybe your link is broken, or it takes too long to load, or the landing page is not converting, or maybe just like your messaging itself, people don't get it what they're supposed to do. So don't be scared to make adjustments and correct your course of action. And then at the end, you analyze the results, take inventory of what went well, what didn't go well. Have you met your goal? Sometimes you even exceed your goal. Sometimes you don't meet your goal. So why didn't you meet your goal? Was your messaging off? Was were there problems with any kind of like your website, or was your inventory not readily available? Did your website crash? So make sure that you check your results. And this is a huge like learning curve, right? So you'll learn from what didn't go well, what went really well, focus on what went well, adjust, and then you improve your next campaign. So that was like the content of this class. So thank you very much. And also wanted to share that, we want to continue. We have a big passion for emerging designers, new designers. We want to continue to be a resource for you. So don't be shy, to reach out to me. We have a fashion marketing course that breaks marketing down even further. You get like one-on-one consultation with us. We also have marketing consultation packages, or you can book an individual strategy session with us. Also, check out our resources on our website. Our website is dynamicallybranded.com. We have, celebrity stylist list, fashion show checklist, a pitch guide, how you pitch. We have a fashion media list. So, you don't waste like days on finding who writes for which publication. So we want to have, we just want to mention that, don't be shy to reach out to us if you have any other questions. And your teacher or professor can share my email as well. Then, connect with us on social media. My business social media is at Dynamically Branded, and my personal is Miss Lolly 9. And now I would like to open it for questions.
Yeah, so I'll give just like a quick pause if anybody wants to actually unmute themselves and ask like a question. If not, I would love if we could read some of the questions out from chat.
Okay.
So let's just start from the very beginning. I see one from Ilan. She says, sorry if this was already touched on, but how can one get into the fashion weeks for experience and collaboration opportunities?
Okay, that's a great question. So one way you can be a volunteer is, to contact IMG directly and tell them, hey, I want to volunteer. What do you guys need help with? So go to the production companies. Another thing you can do is to contact the designers directly, start building a relationship with them. When you see, when you take a look at the schedule, it's usually like the same designers over and over again. There are a few additions, but reach out to the designers, You can also reach out to their PR companies, like whoever represents them. You can also every show usually has a lead stylist, so you can get in touch with the stylist and see if they need help. People always need help. So yeah, production companies, PR agencies, and designers is going to be your best bet. If you want to be more like on the styling side, you can even reach out to like the styling agencies, the Wall Group, or the Only Agency.
Amazing, thank you. Yeah, and to the attendees who are in NYSD students, we do also have those opportunities available on our page. Okay, so the next question, let's see. Is there a specific brand you think has a good marketing strategy to pull inspiration from? And I guess that would be aside from the one you've already shared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Telfar Scams is great. I also enjoy Chanel. I love Chanel and Tom Ford. They have really great advertising. And another brand that I enjoy is Adidas. I mean, their collaboration, I like the Ivy Park collabs. Yeah, those are like my favorites that do it really well.
Amazing. Yeah. If I could actually piggyback off of that question really fast, like
Mhm.
what about those brands do you think makes them so special to you?
Yeah. So with Skims, for example, what I like about that brand is she leverages like cultural moments. Like she had that campaign where everybody was watching, what was it called? That show with it, I forgot the show, but she leverages like cultural moments. And then she also like shapewear used to be like something like shameful, right? Like we didn't want to show that we were shapewear, but now she kind of like made it okay. So a brand that can change like perception or how people think about a product is just, extraordinary. And then with Telfar, like his drops, his marketing campaigns are just, amazing. um Tom Ford is just like the aesthetic, right? Like when you look at something, you can tell it's Tom Ford. So, he has this recognition value and I just love it. I'm obsessed. And he also has that reputation of being like really kind, and everyone that has worked with him, which, the fashion industry can have like sometimes that reputation of being like catty or, toxic, but everyone around him or anyone that I know that has worked with him, like only has like great things to say. So his reputation is just impeccable.
Awesome. Thank you. We have a lot of questions, so we'll just
Okay,
move on to the next one.
good. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. One is okay. What would be a good first step for someone marketing their first collection? So I guess if I don't want to jump on any toes or anything to make assumptions here, but like what would I have a collection, I want to put it out there. What do I want to do first?
Yeah. So social media, because it's the cheapest. Social media is the cheapest. So make sure you use your social media as an advertising tool. I went over, how you can save time, how you can be like creative. So there's some brands that have never done any paid advertising. All they do is social media, original content, organic content, and they've flourished into multi-million-dollar businesses. So definitely social media. Also, if you have smaller budgets, I really enjoy like trunk shows where people can actually, especially with a new brand, people don't know how it's going to fit, um, the sizing, the quality. So any kind of events that you can have where people can actually touch and feel your product is amazing. Also take advantage of technology. So like I mentioned, one of the pain points sometimes is sizing and like fitting. There's now, it's like that plugin with, find your fit that you can put on your website, where they tell you, okay, in H&M and Zara and Nike, I'm this size, and then it spits out your 98% a size 2 or whatever. So take advantage of technology, but definitely like social media, events where people can touch and feel your product.
Awesome. Okay, moving on to the next one. Again, I see there's just so many. Okay. I see somebody says that they'd be interested in collaborating in marketing classes, which I know that you also have available through Dynamically Branded. So, if Stefania, you want to share your contact info, and then I think that's open to everybody in the chat. If you want to share your contact info, go ahead. I mean, these webinars are a fantastic way to connect with like-minded people. So I think that's more of an open request than a question, but fantastic either way.
Here's the chat. Let me put my email in there.
Okay, amazing. Okay, and then as we're doing that, I have another question, if you don't mind. Oh my gosh, every time somebody chats, it puts me right up to the beginning. Okay, what is your number one piece of advice for, it just disappeared again. What is your number one piece of advice for college seniors or recent graduates as far as success as an entrepreneur in fashion?
That's very broad, but
that is very broad.
Yeah, one thing I can say is be authentic to yourself. So really know why you want to be in fashion and what makes you you. Because there's so many especially like emerging designers that try to like fit in with trends or trying to be like other brands, and then they kind of like dilute themselves, and people, they don't know who they are, and other people that are watching the brand grow don't know who they are. So be authentic to yourself. Also stick to your values. Like there have to be certain lines that cannot be crossed, and you just have to stick to that, because you got to be authentic to yourself. So that's like my number one advice, to be yourself. People will appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. If my style is super unique and creative, who would you recommend as a fashion stylist to consult with? I have trouble finding stylists who are colorful, vibrant, and know who they are.
I mean, it just depends on the occasion, right? So different red carpets will have different looks. If you need something like super creative, like the Met is a great, outlet, or the wearable art gala that Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, always puts on. The diamond ball, like Rihanna's diamond ball, is always a good opportunity. So maybe your stuff is good for like performances, like on stage, versus regular red carpet.
Amazing. Thank you. Let's see. Do we have any others? Okay. I think that brings us to the bottom. If you haven't had your question addressed, go ahead and just type it really fast again. Actually, I have one of my own, if you don't mind, Stefania.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. So regarding like influencers and celebrities, is that something like an emerging designer needs to like pay for to wear your clothes, and if so, like what does that cost? Like what does that whole process look like?
Yeah. So it depends. So starting off, I would not spend $50,000 to get something worn by someone. There's just too many other celebrities and opportunities. Excuse me. To do that. But of course, like Jennifer Lopez has a contract with Versace, for example. Sometimes she can't even wear another brand to certain events because she has a contract with them, but those contracts are like in the millions. So these big brands really pay for it, but they do like a whole, like it's like a year-long thing where they have to wear the garments like 10 to 20 times a year, and promote it and all that stuff. But as an emerging designer, no, you do not have to pay for it. Even if you do like influencer marketing, I always suggest doing user-generated content where they can, their payment is basically the garment. And then, if you go, if you become like larger, have more budget, you can start negotiating with them. But yeah, in the beginning, you don't have to pay anyone. I've been working with celebrities for like 7 years, and we have never paid anyone, like not even, Tyra Banks, Hailey Bieber. I work with Hailey Bieber's stylist. It's all pools. Nobody pays for them. So no, you don't have to pay.
Yeah, so like with user generated content, that would be like having like a giveaway and being like, hey, like shout us
Yeah,
out,
or
and then we'll send
filming
you.
an unboxing, like
Oh yeah,
unboxings are really, that's user generated
yeah,
content. Yeah. Or
that's
how they're gonna
amazing.
style it like at a night out.
Wow. Yeah. I see one more question. Do styling agencies take up incoming stylists? So I guess that might even transition to the larger questions of like, how do you branch into,
Yeah.
finding your niche in the styling community?
Yeah. So you can start freelancing. Most stylists that are being represented by agencies, they are a little bit more established, but there's so especially if you're in New York, there's so many opportunities to style. Like always, most stylists start as assistants. So you can be like a styling assistant for a magazine, an outlet, or you can even be a styling assistant for a designer. They always have photo shoot. They always need help. And then also contact the celebrity stylist. They always need assistance too. So really like shoot your shot. Don't be scared. The worst they can say is no. You're just collecting a yes or no. And then if they say no, you just move on to the next one. Like don't be scared of rejection. Yeah, so just reach out. Show them some of the stuff that you've styled, always come, present yourself professionally. And yeah, that's how you start. They started like that, so they understand.
Amazing. Thank you. I think that brings us to oh, okay. They keep coming in. Okay.
Okay.
Is there an online fashion community that we should be a part of? Or maybe what would
Yes.
be the number one that you recommend being a part of?
So I really like Fashion Mingle. It's basically a huge fashion directory. And I think Fashion Mingle introduced me to you guys. So
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, we met through Fashion Mingle. And
yes.
they are super amazing.
Yeah, and they're super involved. They have like different workshops, they connect. They also have like networking events, luncheons. So they're like a really active community. I like Fashion Mingle. And then I also like Fashion Group International, especially if you have you start being like more established, or you're emerging. They have like Rising Star Awards. And that also helps, you rub elbows with like key decision makers in the industry. So Fashion Group is international. You can also be a member of the CFDA. So those are like the main ones.
Thank you. Yeah, I will give it like a couple more seconds, maybe like 20 more seconds for anybody else who has any questions. If not, if nothing comes up in the next 20 seconds, we want to just thank you, Stefania, for all of your time, all the hard work you put into the presentation. We want to invite everybody to join us for next month's webinar. It's all about protecting your brand's identity, trademarks, all that good stuff. So also, the recording will be available on NYSD's website under the events tab. And Stefania, if you have anything you want to leave anybody with, if not, she'll be sharing all of the resources with me. So if you want to get anything that we've talked about tonight, you can always email info@nysd.edu, and we'll close it out there.
Yes, and just don't be scared. Go for it. And don't be afraid of rejection. Rejection, I always say, is redirection. So don't be scared. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or just email me. So we're really responsive. So yeah, just reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to help and be a resource for you.
Yeah, and if you want to put your Instagram at too in the chat, that would
Yeah.
be awesome, just for really fast. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Alon. I agree. She was awesome.
I wanted to
Christopher says,
see,
thank you.
can you guys like, can I see like can you guys turn on your camera? I would like to take like a picture of who attended.
Oh,
Yeah. Can we get like a gallery view? Awesome.
wow.
So
This is
cool.
awesome.
Thank you guys for attending. And don't hesitate to reach out, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. All right. Hopefully, we'll see you next month. Stefania,
Yes.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.